just makes it easier. I can't figure this shit out.
I don't know how you struggle with the opening of our show and the ending of our show.
I'm terrible. The old platform was easier. This one, I can't get it. I can't get it.
Yeah.
But
People,
it
the
is what
reason
it
we
is.
don't, people, the reason we don't use the old platform is it's like $1,000 to use it, and
Yeah,
we're not paying $1,000 to use it. So
hell no.
Even though it was very user friendly.
Yeah, that's why it was $1,000.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for.
Unless somebody out there has got $1,000 sitting around they want to give to us, then we'll gladly go back to that platform.
Yeah, it's only aesthetics. Like, whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is.
We're a couple dipshits, so it just suits us the way this like show is coordinated, more or less. Right. But good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Hittin the Chip with Jake and Jordan. We're on episode, I do believe, 9. Did I get that right? I think I got that right. Yeah, we're on episode 9. So, Niner.
I had a math teacher that liked to say niner when he said 9. So it's not 19, it's 19er.
What on a walkie-talkie or but anyways, a lot to go over tonight. Had a big race last Saturday.
So you want to do introductions first, just for the shits and giggles?
Sure. I'll kick us off. I'm Jordan Smith. I'm the driver of the 13S GAM and co-host their Shindig, and I'll pass it over to this guy.
All right, everybody. I'm Jake Smith, driver of the 89 GAM and co-host of this here podcast. If you are watching right now, I think there's 8 people watching right now. Like and share and tag people to get them on a show, get them talking, because this weekend was kind of a good race to talk about, because there was a lot that happened. Not only this for the super late models, pure stocks, and mods, but the whole night in general was a lot to talk about. So yeah, let's get into it.
Well, and that's why I titled this one "No Drama, Just Demolition." Mm-hmm. Well, and it kind of bled into Sunday, so that was kind of the marquee event for the weekend, if you will. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like Jake says, we'll go over all of that. We had a request last episode from a longtime listener to give our predictions for the season. So we're gonna take this kind of week by week. We're gonna go through the last race, right? Now that we're a couple of weekends in and a couple of races in, can kind of give a little bit more of a, hindsight 2020 accurate prediction.
Right. Now that we've seen who's coming out and who's
consistently there. Yeah. Because, you just never know. But at this point, if you've missed a race, you're pretty much well out of the championship series. So, but
pretty much.
Anyways, we'll give a little bit of a highlight to our presenting sponsor for this here podcast show and for our race cars and our race team, AAA Service. So I know it's hot as hell out there right now. So if you guys are having AC troubles or anything like that, be sure to give us a call. It was hot Saturday, and it's going to be stupid hot this weekend. I feel so bad for the upcoming lineup because it's ridiculous. 100-degree weather, first time in June.
Get those helmet blowers on your car.
Ooh, hey, I installed mine. I almost used it last weekend too.
I'm surprised you didn't use it.
I was close, but I was really close. Anyways, here we go.
I know he's down there just making noises, stalling. He just put so much work into keeping this act going.
Hey. Yeah, Mandy's still home. Her friend's gonna pick her up like any moment. Can you do like a loop around the block or something? Perfect. Okay. Yes. All right. Thanks. See you soon.
There we go, so Jake. Jake of all trades.
Jake of all trades, master of none. I gotta ask, who is driving the AAA truck?
Honestly, don't know.
You don't know? Oh,
I don't know.
Anthony?
Probably. I wasn't around during that time period, so I couldn't tell you. It's really funny though, because I love all you listeners and friends and family and stuff, because I get text messages and Facebook messages all the time about people seeing our pink trucks all over the place. And I have to read this one because it's really entertaining. So Kirk Hunter sent me a text message the other day. So Joe James Jr., it's his son. So Joe James the third sent this message to him, and it was a picture of our truck out in front of basically his house. He said, "Someone took a big pink dump in front of my house. I recommended them to my neighbor. She's recently divorced, and I'm tired of working on her shit."
Someone took a big pink dump.
Oh yeah,
my God.
funny.
Or does she have to like get a dig or something and have like 3-4 vehicles out front?
No, it was only one little like Maverick truck.
Van. Oh
yeah,
my God.
Like, I was like, wow. But it was pretty funny. I had to say, love all the support and help from everybody during this time period of when it's really hot and you give us a call. So
yeah.
But back to the show. Do you wanna here? I'll explain the night. So we had the Buckeye Welding Supply Acres and Sparks. It was the Super Late Model 100. It was the GAM 75 and the Pure Stocks. And then on Sunday, we had the Father's Day Super Sunday Monster Truck Show and Demo Cross. So, yeah, I mean, kind of in our same fashion, we'll kind of talk about just the more interesting moments throughout the entire evening.
There was a lot of them.
There was a lot of interesting moments throughout the evening. You want to start off with the Pure Stocks?
Sure. I also want to throw out look, Kyle Clegg is watching.
Oh, wow.
And guess who's back? Back again. Kyle Clegg in Ahmad. Since he said the Smiths are back, tell a friend. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, the Pure Stocks, I didn't get to watch really any of them, but I mean, you got to watch them come down pit road afterwards. And I don't think in the dash race, because I think they ran the dash race in front of our first feature.
Well, we were out first. Remember?
Did we go very first? That's right. We did go very first.
Which they changed up because we had I think one, or if not maybe two. I know we had one driver.
Jace was the only driver
that was doing double duty.
Yeah. So then they put the two dashes.
Split it up. Right.
I forgot that they split it up. But anyway, I don't think really anything much happened in the regular dash race, but in the fast dash, which I should actually go back and see who actually won the regular dash.
I'm looking that up right now.
We're not prepared, people.
Well, okay. They didn't put out the normally they put out like the
highlights,
the recap at this time, and they haven't done
so that yet. Dylan Jaramillo, I hope I said that right.
Jaramillo. I know where we are totally butchering that right now.
Yeah.
We are Jaramillo. Not pronunciators.
Nor are we smart.
Couple dumb shits. Like I said, we're just a couple dumb shits.
Yeah. But a name that we normally don't see up there. So if that is Dylan's first win.
Well, I do want to say I did watch a highlight of that. I do recollect. They were side by side coming to the stripe for that win, actually.
I was gonna say it says the difference was like less than a tenth. So
correct.
It looks like Tanner and Dylan were drag racing to the start finish line.
Tanner got up underneath him in turn 1 and 2, coming off turn 1 and 2. They split a lap car, and then Tanner just spun the tires because he had the momentum going into 3 and 4, and looked like he just spun the tires, got loose. You know what I mean? And
hey,
the double
get on it, man. When you're coming out of 4 and you're right there, you just get on it, man.
Hammer down. But yeah, he did end up just barely beating him at the stripe. I do remember seeing that highlight.
Yeah. Well, again, if that is Dylan's first win in general. Congratulations. That's awesome. It's good to see some good new names up there winning some races. And then in the fast dash, we'll just announce the winner real quick. The 18Y of Justin Young won that one. It looks like by a little over half a second.
Mm-hmm.
But what car was that?
It was Sean Sully, and it was Carrasco's car, but Michael Stewart was driving it.
Michael Stewart was driving it. That's right. And coming to the line, hammer down, and just kind of kept coming to the wall. And Sean Sully was up high there and got into the left front of Sean Sully and turned her right into the wall. And that thing, that center of gravity must be real high, because that thing just hit the wall and just decided to go right on the top of its head. And
because they got in contact before the stripe.
Mm-hmm. And he hit the wall like at the stripe.
Yeah, it was like right there, like bang, bang, right? And then
he slid a long ways before it went back on all fours. So
it was damn near in turn 2, down by the,
turn 1.
But it was a long way down to turn 1.
Yeah, I'm just surprised the way it hit the wall. I wonder if it almost hit like the little bit of opening in the wall from where the
video that I saw
flag stand comes out.
They kind of missed that.
Did they?
Yeah, from the video that I had saw, they had missed that portion of it, and they were just hard racing really, and the 5 came up the track and they got into each other, and then he nosedived, and then they just kept going. Like neither one of them like hit the brakes. I mean, they might have been hammered on the brakes at that point. I don't know, and then all of a sudden it's like they caught the dirt and boom, end over end. I mean, luckily he was all right.
Luckily he's all right, and I do believe
it was crazy.
They got the car. I mean, it didn't really like hurt much on the car. They fixed a couple things, it sounds like, and I think he went out and
did the main
event. Yeah. Let's see.
Or are you rewatching it on low budget as we're talking about it?
No, I'm going through it on Race Monitor.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Finished.
Yeah.
Only did 8 laps, but I mean, heck, still
made it
get
back
paid for the night. Made it back out and get paid for the night. So ran enough laps to at least get a couple bucks back. So, but yeah, it looks. I don't know if it was maybe in the heat races or if it was the main event, but it did seem like there was some beating and banging going on in this pure stocks, because there was a couple of videos I saw of people like fixing their car in between, doing other things. And I mean, hey, that's racing though, beating and banging, and you're going to see it. So, but Ronnie Johnson was your feature winner for the pure stocks. So congratulations to Ronnie. Is that his first one for the year?
For the
Is
year,
his first year for the year. Yeah. For the feature. Yeah. For the year. So, congratulations to him. Justin Young ended up finishing second, who won the fast dash. So almost got the double wins. To see who got qualifying.
I was looking at this. He was about almost a full second behind.
Yeah.
At the end there. So they got spread out towards the end. I mean, but
hey, I think they put on a pretty good show.
That was the first fireworks of the night.
Yeah, being that they were like the alternate show for the night, besides the mods and the super late models, that put on a pretty good show. So, congrats to Ronnie Johnson.
Well, and I can't even really say it was the first fireworks of the night, because our first main was a mess.
Yeah.
we started off on the wrong foot. We kind of kicked it off in a bad way.
It kind of started for the fact that they totally switched the schedule on us right at the drivers' meeting. Like, I get it, Jace needs the break, or not, much of a break, but at least time to get out of the mod and get into the super late, especially if you had to go to tech, right? But I still don't understand why we went first qualifying. That's what got me.
Yeah, because that was kind of weird. Because
that was a little weird.
Well, and it's hard too when you're like walking out of the driver's meeting, right? Like they're yelling at you. All right, get to staging.
Modifieds. Yeah, get the modifieds to the scales. Like, I just got my paper for my tires to write down. Like, can I at least get to my pit? My gosh.
5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes at least,
Which I don't know how many other classes do this. I know pure stock guys and the super stock guys, when they get called, they're pretty much they're getting up there. Like they're in line, they're ready to go. They're going through state or gosh dang it, scales. They're ready to go. For some reason, the modifieds, and I even see it in the super late models a little bit. Like you and I will get in, and I took my time. Like I legit got over, we wrote down the tires and they called us.
Especially now with you, you're not the fastest moving human at the moment. So.
Yeah, at the moment. So it was like, I took my time and made sure I had everything good to go. And then we sat there for like 5 minutes. And Mike's like getting on the radio and he's like, there's nobody else in their cars except for you guys. And it's like, seriously, they're about ready to call the pure stocks, which they ended up all of a sudden, okay, modifieds, you don't want to qualify. Pure stocks, get your asses up here. So there's got to be something where, I'm sure Ray loves yelling at us to get to staging.
It's a joy in life. You can just hear it with the enthusiasm as it comes across the sound speakers, in the pit area.
It starts off nice. Grand Americans to the scales. And then, a couple of times later, Grand Americans to the scales now. Like, yes, Mom.
You even got the facial expression down there.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That was great. Because I can envision that in my head, and you just pinpointed it perfectly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's gotten mad at me a couple times this year, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just asking a question. Just, God damn it. I just wanted to know when pill draw was. Jesus.
Oh my God. Oh, making a grown man cry.
I know. But yeah, I think like if you're not even in your cars after the second time of getting called up, you don't qualify. Like, sorry, if it takes me the amount of time it took me and I was ready to go and we could have went up to scales right away and everybody else is still lollygagging around, sorry, you don't qualify.
I mean, I get it. Well, and this is why we had, a couple episodes back about like having that order, right? Based off of practice. And if you miss your time slot to get out to qualify, then you start in rear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that would just be the one thing to be able to hold people accountable more or less, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Hey, it should take you no more than 5 or 6 minutes to get in your car, get ready, get buckled in, right? And you should be rolling the scales. Like if after 10 minutes, sorry, you don't qualify. Or if like you all of a sudden show up, they call the pure stocks and you're showing up as pure stocks are already in scales, then you know what? Nope, sorry, you can go, right back to your pit.
Well, and what was really funny about qualifying, right? I was the lonely idiot that didn't pay attention in the driver's meeting. And I went down to the fucking infield.
So, I know. Yeah. Like you and a couple of people apparently didn't pay attention. And I even, because I was right after you. So when you finished your lap, I got sent out and then I'm going into one kind of trying to get some skid on the tire to warm them up. And then I see you just dive off into the infield. I'm like, idiot. He didn't pay attention. I almost got on the radio and told Mike too, like he didn't pay attention in driver's meeting.
Dipshit.
But I was trying to focus up.
I totally didn't, because I saw Lynn Hardy pull off and I'm like, where the hell is that guy going? And then I turned in and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why.
Oh, that's right. There's a bunch of shit in the middle of the infield. I'll just dodge those, this little hill here.
And then I saw Scotty over, Scott Bremkamp over in turn 4, the entrance to the track. Yeah, he like had that look on his face, like, you dumbass.
You idiot.
And then they got, after you guys did your lap, they're like pointing at me like, go. And I'm like, thank you.
I like Kyle Clegg's comment here. My dad got on the radio. Don't do what the 13 did and go through the infield.
I'm glad I could bring some entertainment for the night.
Oh, that's great.
Be the punching bag for jokes.
Right. I see, Ray. I got yelled at this weekend because the super late models wouldn't pull up when they got off the scales. And Greg didn't think I called them up.
Oh, my God.
You didn't call them up, but they're at the scales and they're rolling off. But you didn't call them to the scales. Somebody's or something. I don't know.
Jake's on one tonight, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Jake's on one tonight. He's on a roll. I love it.
A little
funny.
slap happy or something.
Anyways,
Anyway,
all right.
Yeah.
Get to the main part. We they did a heads up for our race for the 25 lapper,
Which I liked.
Which is I'm fine with that. Like it doesn't matter.
Try it out.
Qualifying means something again.
Yeah.
To be honest, like you really wanted to lay down a lap. I suck at qualifying. Like I just suck.
Yeah.
I cannot lay down a lap to save my life. Swear to God.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
it's an art.
But it is an art form. And hats off to Kyle Ray and Jace and all these different guys that can just Ryan Jones. I mean, Kyle he's always at the top of the board. He just has it down, and I applaud him because I cannot do that.
And it's funny because Dad always says, if you look, sometimes the fastest car looks slow when they're going through qualifying. And a couple of times there's cars you're sitting when we're in the infield, you're going, man, that lap's got to suck. I don't know. And then all of a sudden you look at the board and you're like 21 to the board. Holy shit. Really?
Yeah.
It just looks like he's in slow motion here, but apparently that was a good lap.
Well, you and everybody else, you guys always end up getting out of your cars and like looking up. I'm sitting there sweating my ass off with my helmet and stuff on. Like, yeah.
I talked for about 2 minutes with Mike to complain about how I suck at qualifying and what the car I think may need. And I'm like, all right, I'm unplugging. I'm taking my helmet off. He's like, okay. And I take that shit off. I'm not going to sit there and sweat. They should go straight up every night in the mods. Yeah. So he could sit on a pole and just walk away with it. Yeah.
But I mean, there was a couple cautions early. I mean, it's the same person who caused the cautions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Captain Chaos. I mean, it's just, it is what it is at this point. But anyways, then we got some good laps in for a while. And then we had a late caution.
I think it was about 8 to go. It was like 8 to go, I think, at that point.
There was less. It was less than that because it was like 3 or 4 to go is when I pulled off, and the car was yelling at me because it was hot.
No, I think there was about 8
I think you're right. I think it maybe was less. It was more than that. It was like 8.
Yeah, because we had a red flag there for. I mean, both races had a red flag, which was crazy, but we had a red flag there because we all sat on the front straight for a good couple of minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I had pulled off before then, and then I was able to get out and come over and watch the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, you're right. You're right. So, but it was a good race. Like overall, it wasn't a bad race. Kyle,
that'd be me. I spun the 55 out with 8 to go. Good job. That one made him lose his door, I think.
Was that the one? Because I don't remember seeing it, but I just remember seeing him when we went out for the second main, and he had no left side on the car. And I was like, oh shit, that's a bad day.
I just remember we got the red flag or went to yellow. We started going. All of a sudden, here comes Kyle Clay, going into the pits. Like, what happened to him? Like, that's weird. I've never seen him pull off.
I do remember seeing him pull off.
Yeah, because then you pulled off right behind him.
Yeah, and then I got off not too much longer after that, because it was when the 55 was spun around in turn 3, because I went high around him, and then I looked down at the water temperature, and it was flashing, and I was like, oh, shit. So, And
start the car and give it a couple revs. It'll go down. It'll start going down.
I know, but still, so to give context for everybody, we had to do a motor swap on Friday. The motor we had in my car before, we found pieces in the oil filter, so it wasn't blown, but precaution.
Yeah, and
So
that was after the first race.
Yeah, and then
the very first race.
After the very first race, yes, and we didn't have a backup at that point, so we drained it and it was clean and everything was okay. And then we were like, okay, we're gonna go out the second night, and luckily it got rain shortened, and then we finally got our backup motor back, and then decided to make the motor swap on Friday at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and then it was still, let's see, 8:30 the next morning. You guys got it in and done, I think, at like noon.
It was a little before that. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock is when we finally got it like fired up and ready to go. And then we'd forgotten to change the jets in it, and that's what ultimately she was a little lean, and it got a little hot.
Yeah, there was a lot of people though that I heard were running hot on Saturday.
Poor Kyle Ray, he
blew up right in front of me with 3 to go.
Yeah, he roasted his.
It was funny. He said I gave him such a good because he said he threw in the clutch. He knew it was going to blow up. So as soon as it blew up, he said he threw the clutch in. And that's when I drilled him just past the start finish line. So he said he held the clutch in, and I hit him so good that it pushed him almost all the way to his pit. I think he was like 3 pits away from pulling into his pit.
That's a good shove.
Yeah,
that's a good shove.
I didn't think it was that hard of a shove, but it must have been just good enough.
Oh man! But congratulations to Ryan Jones on his first win of the season. He's had a good run for the last couple of years. I mean, he's got a really good car, and he's a damn good driver. So, hats off for winning $1,000.
Yeah, I do have to ask though, did you get scared of the little kids that were taking pictures with you, or are you so tiny that you hid behind the feature sign, or what? Because the picture online, you're nowhere to be seen. It's just the 4 kids. So
that was funny though, because
I know he's watching. So
all you saw was the car and then the 4 kids.
4 little kids.
Is he just not taller than them? Because I know he's short, but
it's John Cena. John Cena was driving the car.
Oh, that's who it was. Yep, can't see me. Oh my God. Yeah. Right here. Yeah, Jeremiah said he was running hot too. That's from what I hear. We weren't the only ones, but yeah, just don't want to risk it. It's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Apparently Scotty tucked in behind me and was doing the rev thing and trying to cut dirty air off his car during a couple of the caution laps. And I'm like, oh, you did? He goes, yeah, I didn't hit you, did I? I was like, oh, if you did, I didn't feel it.
All right, the second main.
Ooh.
I know I had to start in the rear in the field because I didn't finish the first one. We started with 24 cars on the night, and we ended up starting the main event. Let's see.
I think
hold please.
I think there was 21 that started the second feature.
Was it 21? Let me go up. Feature number 2.
Told me to hurry up and get off the track.
19 of us. 19 of us started the second main. I made a total of 5 laps in the second main. That was not fun. Yeah, I mean, for my position, starting in the rear, I was trying to get up, try to make some moves early so we get up, at least be in some sort of contention for a top 10. And Darren Clark, he washed up the racetrack. I punched it, tried to go up underneath him, and it's just a racing deal. He came down, clipped the right front tire, popped the tire, and then the caution didn't come out, so that was pulled around, and everybody's like, we'll change it. And I'm like, but it's still green, so it's like it really doesn't matter at that point. Like, I'm gonna finish towards the rear of the field. It's like, do we run the risk of wrecking a car and putting it in a bad situation at that point just to run laps? And so I was like, nah. I'm done. I'll just park it and go watch it from the stands. Unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's all right. Shit happens.
But it was a good vantage point to watch the rest of the race because there was some beating and banging going on.
I know. I was really hoping we were going to go green to checker there because after about 5-6 laps, it got spread out and we were just running laps. And I was content from where I was at. I was like, all right, I was in 4th. I was like, shit, hell yeah, let's just run green to checker. And I don't know if he's watching right now, but I'm gonna slightly blame this on Mike Hunter. Okay. And I know he's going to get mad at me for saying this, but usually he'll tell me how many laps we got going on, oh, you got 25 to go, 15 to go, 10 to go. Like he was like counting down from 15, 14, 13. I'm like, he never does this. I hope that's not a jinx. And then like 13 to go, it was like caution. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And cautions, precautions.
You were running good at that point. You were sitting in 4th.
I was running good. You were
running good.
I was talking about the caution part.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's what sucks is because you were running well, top 5 in your first overall night back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Cade Fox was leading it. And man, had that thing gone the rest of the way, I think CJ Wilson would have won it.
I think so.
He was coming. And he got up underneath him and they threw the yellow. Well, and everybody around us thought it was like another ghost caution because you couldn't see the fact that the 09 had like spun out or had some sort of issue on the front stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody said, what the hell? And they thought that they threw it on purpose. And then, but you couldn't see because all the monster truck stuff and the dirt hills right there, you can't see that portion of the racetrack at all.
Well, I also heard they threw it not only because of him, but debris somewhere on the track. I don't know where it was, but
it sucks. And then what happens usually 9 times out of 10, cautions breed cautions, and that's exactly what happened because we had the big pile up in 3 and 4, and
which I kind of made a mistake of I came down on Jace Hansen going into 1 on the restart. Mike had cleared me and I didn't get down early enough right when he said clear, and Jace closed the gap, and I think that kind of started it because then I got by him and then Ryan Jones was coming up behind me and I think he thought he was clear, and Jace closed the gap again and boom, and that's kind of how that's
And there was a few more cars in that incident.
Jace let me know his frustration on the back straightaway.
Oh yeah, I told him too after the race was over. It was like he deserved that.
I know I did. I deserved it. He gave me a good shot though, and I waited. I was like, "Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm just sorry." And then after the race, he was like, "Yeah, I actually, after you waved at me, I thought about it, and I realized it actually did hit you a lot harder than I was really wanting to. I just wanted to give you a little love tap." I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I deserved it."
It was a good little hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
But then you in the 4 car, and he was holding you tight. Like I think it was just a matter of, from my vantage point, I don't think you screwed up. You were holding your line, and I think that the 4 car just tried to play you so tight, and one false move between either one of you, and somebody was wrecking, and that's ultimately what happened.
Yeah. It honestly felt like somebody rear-ended me and turned me, and then that's when I hit the 4 car. But when I rewatched the film, there was nobody behind me. It was all
caught tires.
Yeah.
You both caught rear tires and just boom.
Which, yeah, when I landed so hard it actually pulled my belt. And since I got no fat or muscle right now, like it like hit me so hard, like I like knocked the wind out of me, and Scott Bremkamp comes up, "You good?" Yeah, I'm good.
Sucking wind, and you're trying to give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you dying, dude? Or
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't have the radio on at that point, but Nicole was listening, and your poor wife was sitting there next to her, and she heard you kind of like wheezing a little bit, and she looked at Kristen and was like, "Uh-oh." She's like, "What's the matter?" And then all of a sudden you came back on, knocked the wind out of me. And she's like, oh, okay. So you can blame her. She kind of got Kristen going a little bit on that one.
Yeah, I know. But she did. She told me.
Yeah. But then after that, out of nowhere, the 66 car of Eric Reed took over the lead.
He got such a good jump on that restart.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't cheat. It wasn't like he purposely jumped it. He just got such a good restart. He just drove that car into turn 2.
Oh yeah.
Didn't let go.
Stuck.
I looked at his fastest lap was lap 48 when we took that after we took that restart. That was his fastest lap.
That's crazy.
Of the night. Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, that's awesome, right? Like as a driver and a competitor, I mean, that's fantastic to see. It made it for a hell of a finish. There was a lot of lead changes. Mm-hmm. The choose cone definitely came into play during both races, I think, overall in the night. I've been in love with the choose cone ever since it's been instituted. It's fun. I think from a driver's perspective, it is a lot of fun, and it throws some strategy back into our hands that we haven't had yet, you know?
Because I chose the high side a couple times just because, I'm in 4th, like, all right, I'm going to stay in 4th, but I could not get a run on the high side coming out of any corner. So it was like, I'm losing a position every time anyway. So not thankfully, but with the cautions, I was like, I'm just going to give up a spot on the actual choose cone, go to the bottom. That way, if, everybody starts railing through on the inside from the outside cars, I'll just tuck in and follow. But that still didn't happen.
Well, and that's the fun part, right? Like you get your car working and you can go anywhere with it. Then, I mean, you can make up some ground, like last weekend we saw with Meisner, I mean, he was able to make up a few positions.
Couple spots.
Just in a caution. Same thing here. There's a few guys that made up some positions just because they chose the top. So, but overall, I mean, it was a good night of racing. We could totally get into the perspective of how we thought the night should have been instead of split races, but I wish it would have been switched. The $1,000 would have been in for the 50 lapper and then regular points, regular whatever for the first one.
Yeah.
It just seemed weird that the smaller race was worth more money in a sense. But congrats to Cade Fox too, because he was the winner of the overall combined points as well for the night.
Because he finished second in the second feature and third in the first feature, right?
I think he finished second in both.
Did he finish second in both?
Let me go. I'm pretty sure he finished second in both. So that sucks, but good for consistency's sake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're that close to getting the win and
But I'm gonna say this and he's probably gonna hate me. I'm okay with that because then that would have meant he won the first 3 races as a rookie. So I'm okay with that. First time in a mod wins the first 3 races.
That's true. That is very true. I blame Kyle Clegg for helping him. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's freaking cheating, man. You're supposed to be just focusing on quarter midgets. Get yourself a tighter shirt. I do have to say this for context. Did I talk about this last week on the podcast?
I don't think so. Maybe you did. I don't remember. But
so a couple weeks ago when the Bandoleros ran with the late models and was it the Pro Trucks or whatever? I can't remember who. It doesn't matter. But the late models ran the last race, and I don't know, it was like halfway through the race, or no, it was right after the race was over.
After the races, yeah.
Because he came walking down in front of everybody on the back straight stands, and he was going to tech, and I just kind of laughed because he had a pretty tight shirt on, and so I was like, "Hey, I think you could use a tighter shirt." And he looked up at me, he like, "You bastard!" And I had everybody within like a 20-foot radius of sitting around me, just dying laughing. And he'd walk 10 feet, fucking bastard.
Oh, it's
Walk
so
another
funny.
10 feet. You son of a bitch.
It was so funny. It was so funny. And then
Oh,
afterwards,
God.
when we were in the pits, we were talking about that. And he was explaining to us about how he didn't like to wear loose clothing because of the quarter
Pushing the
midgets
quarter
and
midget.
working on them and it gets caught and all that stuff. So totally understand it.
Oh my
But
God.
at
But
that time, it was
so funny.
fucking hilarious. Oh my
It could
God.
be
It was
like
funny.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in what is that movie, Twins, where he
Yeah.
like flexes and rips through the shirt.
The shirt. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. Yeah. Ray, you are correct. He's not a rookie, by the way.
Well, he's a rookie in the mod. Okay.
Yeah.
I know he's not a rookie, but he's a rookie in the mod.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, context matters.
I was speechless. That's great.
But anyways, all right, moving on to the super late models.
models.
They had their 100 lap. Well, it's kind of funny. There's like the advertising part, right? Like the SLM 100, but they split it into 40-60, which to me, do 50-50 at that point. Do 50 lapper and 50 lapper, but I guess it doesn't really matter. It still comes out to equate 100 laps. But
yeah, I still don't understand why they couldn't have just done the 100. But
we'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. But they did the same setup. So where the first race was worth 1,500, and then the second race was like normal points and normal purse. Right? It was normal for both of them, right? Or just for the second one?
No, I think it was normal for kind of like us. They had the whatever it was for the 40 normal payout and points for the second one, and then the 1,500 for combined points.
It totally fail on my part. That's why I don't pay attention. See, I missed the drivers' meeting and everything.
And you were sitting front and center.
I was sitting front and center. I blame people for talking. Oh yeah, so it was $1,500 for the first one, and then it was full points in purse for the second feature, but an additional combined points winner. So
which they get 1,500 for normal purse payout for the winner?
Do they, or is it 1,000?
I don't know.
Or 1,200? I don't know. That's a great question.
Super late model guys,
because they don't advertise it.
Yeah, the only track in the United States that doesn't post their payouts is Colorado National, and I really don't understand. I
don't either. It's kind of a mystery. The check shows up, and you'll be like, okay. So then you try to equate. Well, I finished 4th. And then I had a 3rd. So that means I must, so times the 2, subtract, you know what I mean? You're trying to do the math in your head of what it's worth. Just post it, some bitch. Make it easy on all of us.
Right.
But anyways.
1,500.
So it was a normal night.
Yeah.
So it was a normal win for both races.
Yeah. So really, the only additional part of it was the combined points.
Correct.
Yeah.
So really, for our division, it was like the elevated night.
Right.
By $400.
Yeah.
Whatever. My math is not mathing.
Yeah.
Or my understanding, I should say, is not understanding.
Me neither.
Whatever.
Anyway, first 40.
The first 40. Michael Scott, man. I love watching that dude race. He's so much fun to watch because he is not afraid to send the car where most people aren't. Right? Like, and they had a good car count for the night. There was 16 of them that showed up for that. And the first race, that's what started with 16. A lot of names, you know what I mean? A lot of different names that we've seen over the course of the last, 10 years even. The Yankees, all 3 of them were in this one. Chris Eggleston came out and raced first time this year. And I know that he's really heavy into his kids racing too. So it's good to see that 22 car back out there. Cassidy, Roger Avance. I mean, that's a classic name. he was participating. Darren Robertson, he was back out there. Nick Cooper,
Yeah.
haven't seen him. I know he participated in the SRL series primarily the last few years, so it was good. And then you got Jace. I mean, in that team, they've done some really good things so far this season. They've had a really good year.
Yeah.
But man, Michael Scott, man, it seems like when that dude gets on a roll, he is just tough to beat overall, right? So to win the first one, it was worth 1 point per car. And then the second feature was normal points. So it was, 2 points per position in a sense, like difference. So Michael Scott goes out and wins the first one. Jace finishes second. And then the second feature, it started off.
I thought it was a good race. There
It
was a
lot of
action.
There was a lot of action all over the place. But once they got rolling, right, like got through the mid part of the race, Jace took the lead, and Michael Scott ended up getting into second. He was doing his traditional, like, I'm gonna send it in the third lane.
I thought he was gonna catch him.
He had a chance, and then there was a part of the race where, and this is really hard for somebody who may not be running consistently in that division, but Michael Hanna, he got out of the way, was up in the second lane, let the bottom go for Jace, and then Michael Scott was right there, and he was up in the second lane. Michael tried to take him up high, and then all of a sudden through 1 and 2, like cut down to the bottom, and Michael Hanna cut down to the bottom with him, and it kind of like blew his momentum at that point.
Yeah.
And you felt bad for Michael Hanna too, because like I said, it's not like he just
What do you do?
What do you do? You didn't know.
You got the leader running low, and then you got the second place running high. Like,
well, you're just trusting your spotter at that point. Like, they know the lines that those guys are running behind you, right? Like, because the last thing you want to do is get in the way. But at that point, it's a split decision. Okay, the 08's coming, give him the bottom, and then then you got the 82 who's running the top. You go from one lane down to the next, and you're just trying, you know what I mean? So it was a hard situation.
It's so fast sitting in the car. Like, it looks like on the outside, like, oh, you had time to, but in the car, it's totally different. Especially those supers.
Oh yeah, and they're cruising, right? Like it's really hard. And you got your full containment seat. Like, granted, you got mirrors and shit, but it's hard to pay attention and see what's going on. That's, like I said, you're just trusting your spotter at that point, and not to blame anyone. It's just a really tough situation. But poor Michael Scott just got killed all of his momentum at that point in the race. And you could see him trying to work different parts of the racetrack, but the 08 on long runs is really tough to beat. Like, those guys,
they work on their stuff for long runs.
And they do. They really do. Like, if you watch them in practice, right? Like, even not just locally, but you see what they do in practice when they're out of town. They get the car into a good base, and then they go out for a whole practice section. I mean, they've been known to run 100 laps before, in one session, and just consistent. Never came off the racetrack just to see what the car does on long runs. So, I've taken notice of that, and yeah, you saw it down at the Snowball. You know what I mean? Like, he gets on those long runs.
Well, they did it at Tucson when we went to do the SRL 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Well, and just the Tucson race here earlier, or the Chili Willy, right? Like, got on that long run and was able to work his way to the front and ended up winning it. So, but it was exciting. It was a lot of fun. You were hoping that he was going to be able to at least get there and see what kind of finish we could have hoped for, seeing those two run side by side, because that would have been a hell of a race between those two.
Yeah, because then it would have been, okay, who's going to win this race, but then who's also going to win the combined points?
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what it came down to. I mean, it came down to just one position. I mean,
well, and the fact that 2 points technically, because no, actually 1 point.
1 point.
Yeah, because the first race, it's 1 point per car, like you said, but then normal points, it's 2 points difference per position.
Correct.
Yeah, so
he lost it by 1 point. And you can see him at the end of that race just pushing as hard as he possibly could, but just wasn't enough. I mean, the 08 set sail, and there was some good racing going on elsewhere around the racetrack. I mean, that wasn't the only spot. Brian Yackey, he did really well early on in that race too.
I was gonna say, yeah, Brian did very well. And the second race, especially, I think he was top 5 for a while. I don't know. I think he actually did end up finishing top 5, didn't he?
Yeah, he finished 5th.
Yeah.
He finished 5th. Brett ended up making his way up to the front. Nick Cooper was out front for a while. And then, and then, like I said, the 08.
Jace got him.
And so did Michael Scott. But Brett finished 3rd, and Nick Cooper ended up finishing top 5 too. So he finished 4th. And then, Brian Yackey, for his first time being in the car this season, he performed really well. I got to give it to him. At the end of the race, they were, third back was over 7 seconds behind, so it's just at that point, the difference between the 2 top cars and then everybody else was just a huge difference.
Yeah.
But anyways, congratulations to the 08. I mean, we were talking to him on Friday, and I asked him straight up, I was like, are you nuts? Like, damn, dude, you're going to do all this 2 cars in one night and that many laps. I mean, that's a lot. That's a workout, going from one car to the next, and then, having to compete in 2 different divisions. I mean, hats off to him. That's a hell of a feat to do, but
yeah,
I know I'm fat enough to where I'd be like, no.
Yeah. I mean, he's used to running those long races. So, I mean, 175 laps total. So
that is true. That is true.
Doing open wheel and then going from open wheel to super late model, I'm sure it's obviously he handled it just fine, but for somebody like me, I'd probably struggle.
100%. Well, you struggled after the 50 lapper. You got out of the car and you were
I was
over on the roof.
I was fucking done, man. Well, especially like the seat, like I told you yesterday, but like the little opening for the seat, the lap belts, it's got this big opening and then this bar, and my tall ass, the car builder tried to build it as good as he could, but I still have to contort my leg in a certain way to lean it on the seat. So I don't hit the freaking shifter and knock the gear out, but then still be comfortable enough to be on and off the throttle and stuff. And it was digging into that pole, and when I got out of my suit, I was feeling my leg. I was like, oh my God, what is that? I had a freaking knot like that big. It looked like a freaking softball on my quad. Like, what the hell? And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's that bar. Like, yeah.
I will say that seat is pretty comfy, but I'm also 5 inches shorter than you.
Shorter and just especially right now, just a little wider, so you fill out the seat a little bit better than I do.
A little. Dude, I think I'm 2 pant sizes bigger than you.
Yeah, technically we should swap seats, but at this moment it is what it is.
Oh yeah, I ain't doing that right now. That's way too much work. Way too much work. We got enough shit to fix already now on your car, and then Addie and Nora's, and then luckily mine's shorts really hurt, but
I have a lot of cosmetic damage.
But I don't know if anybody made it out for the Sunday's events with the monster trucks and stuff. I did catch it on some of the highlights and whatnot from the low budget broadcast, Sunday night's action, and it always is packed out there. Granted, it was still hot as hell on Sunday. It was really hot, really hot last weekend. It going from the garage, busting your ass first thing in the morning, and then packing up as quickly as you can, get out to the racetrack, unpack, do all that shit, right? Like, I don't think I peed once the entire night. Like, and I drank probably a good gallon of water that day. But I scaled myself. I scaled myself.
You scaled yourself, huh?
I scaled myself on Sunday. Dude, I lost 6 pounds in a day.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I know. I don't
have 6 pounds to lose.
Yeah, just worry about dynamics in the car when you lose that much weight in a day.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
yeah, that's also why I was keeled over in the car. I was just like, I'm just exhausted.
yeah,
First race back, your muscles aren't used to that shit, and go out and run 75 laps, especially
it ain't easy.
the 50 lapper.
BS, you were stuffing your shorts.
Stuff in your shorts, yeah. Yeah, that 50 lapper when we had what? Because I think we did 20 something green flag laps. I want to say almost 30 green flag laps, and hitting your mark every time, and just trying to keep. Because like I said, that seat's pretty big, so it's like I'm putting myself in a spot, and I'm like trying to just be comfortable the whole time, and a lot of muscles I haven't used in a while.
That's very
And
true.
as soon as I got out of the car, I was like, they were like, I'm done. Stop it. Jesus, go home and go to bed.
I was definitely ready for a beer. And then as soon as I got home, like I was out cold.
Yeah.
I didn't get up till like 9:30 the next day. That's how tired I was. And that's very unnormal for me.
I wish I had slept in that late. My wife woke me up and she was like, all right, honeydews. I'm like, shh, can I at least sleep till 7:30? No.
That was really funny. When I got up the next day and I'd heard that you were out mowing the lawn at like 8:00 in the morning, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
She cracked that whip on you.
Yeah, she did.
You're good enough to race. You're definitely good enough to mow the lawn.
You know what? That's literally exact words that came out of her mouth. Like, thank you. Appreciate it. I could have done this a little later, but she's like, but you want to do it while it's hot? I'm like, touche. I'll get up.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right.
I will have to say though, there was.
Go ahead.
Well, before we do that, it was kind of funny because two things on this. When we pulled the car out and I took it over to safety tech, drove by Michael Scott's pit, and apparently he walked up to Mike Hunter and he's like, damn, that thing looks good. I want to drive it. And Mike Hunter goes, well, you can drive it if Jake can drive your super. I'll think about it. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes later, he comes up. Okay, you got yourself a deal. So apparently I got a little practice coming with a super. So not buying a super, not running a super, people. No. Just the hot lapper session. But
just experience it. See what it's like.
Exactly. And especially that car, I want to see.
It's a good car.
Feel hot. I want to feel what that third lane feels like. Try and run that third lane.
That's true. Get a good feel for it. Because it works.
Yeah. And I kind of lost that feel, in the mod right now. So I'm kind of like, I need to get that feeling back.
Mm-hmm.
So
knock the cobwebs out.
Yeah. But he also watches the podcast because when we were sitting in safety tech, he's like, he talked about the 35 pounds. He's like, y'all want to talk shit about the 35 pounds and the new tires. He's like, I might just put 50 pounds on your car. I'm like, no. I was like, if you give me fresh tires every night, I will put an additional 35 pounds on the car. And he even agreed, like we talked about last week, that Darren and Jerry, they got it. They spent the time at the scales with that additional 35 pounds, put it in the right spot. He was like, that is smart. I was like, see? So it doesn't really, unless you designate, it's got to be in this spot and this spot only.
And you can't weigh your car and you can't do nothing to it, right?
Exactly. I will take the 35 pounds and fresh set of tires every night. If that
every night, every single night.
Mm-hmm. And I will start
expensive.
Yeah. And I'll start in the back of the slow dash. That's fine with me. Sure.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm not saying that the guys in the dash of the GAM suck or anything. Not saying that at all, but I mean, I'll take my chances.
Well, exactly, right? Like you got a better chance versus anybody else if they're on an off night cycle. Right. Then, I mean, it's more power to you.
Right.
Ugh.
So I just thought it was funny. He was like, so you guys talking shit on the podcast? I'm like, You watch? All right.
Some other dude, I forget who, the old man that came up to us after the races were over. I recognized who he was.
Yeah, he
but
knows grandpa and dad and mom.
Yeah, and I don't remember who he was. Like I know his face, right? But I didn't know his name. And he said the same exact thing. He's like, "So what kind of shit are you going to talk on the podcast this week?" I was laughing. I was like, "I'm not talking shit."
Not a whole lot of shit, but just reiterating.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Is it bad? Do I sound bad?
Yeah.
I'm just bringing up points. That's all.
I mean, there's one person that, we won't name names, but, there's one that he could either use an ass whooping or a driving lesson. That's all I'm going to say.
Fucking Jake.
He needs to hear the 7-loop belt pull. Yep.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
I'm sure there's a couple people, hopefully if they're listening, that would probably agree to that.
Oh, I know there was some ruffled feathers, that's for sure. Watching social media after a race, like the next day, is so much entertainment.
I know.
It's so much. It's such good quality content. It's great. Love it.
And I watching people's videos and stuff like that too. God love Adam Hilton. running around with no socks and sandals on while he's working on race cars, flip-flops, running around working on race cars. I just laugh every time I see that.
I do have to give that man some props. He's lost some weight and he looks good.
He looks damn good.
He looks good.
And I mean, he knows how to work on race cars, so I'm sure he's like, hey, I'm agile enough to get my feet out of the way if something happens.
He does. And in slow motion, I remember the video you were talking about. It was like in slow-mo, and he was like, "Oh, I just died in your arms tonight."
Oh God, that's funny.
Oh man. Anyways,
all the
all right.
and the spotters stand against that one particular car. Just saying, good for you.
Good
Ray.
for you.
Good for you.
I like it.
And Kyle, you should have seen him running in the back. Was always sideways every corner, locked up his left front.
It's a good way to roast some tires.
Yeah, I heard he was dirt tracking and going through some monster truck areas too.
That's just sketchy area. I'm good. I don't like risking, $60,000, $70,000 race cars for that kind of shit. That's not fun.
Right.
But anyways, this upcoming weekend, it's the Exhaust Pros North Glen Sweet Sound of Thunder. It's June 21st. You got the Pro Trucks, late models, super stocks, and crazy figure eights. Man, I mean,
it's a good lineup.
It's a great lineup. I just feel for everyone that is going to be out there this weekend. It's going to be a hot one. Yeah. Track's going to be a mess. It was a mess last week when it was stupid hot.
Slick.
So be prepared. Everybody get your notepads out. Start, getting your cars dialed in. Figure out what you're going to do, because
jet your cars and trucks correctly.
Yeah. Track's a mess when it gets that hot. But anyways, drink a lot of water. That's all I can recommend. Drink lots of water. Oh, that was another thing real quick. Not drinking water, but so Jim was talking about how at the drivers meeting, I don't know if you caught that, where they were talking about the drinking going on before the midway point of the races. So I don't know, probably a lot of people watching that might not have been there during that time period, but that exact moment happened when I was standing there talking to him. He was driving down pit road. He stopped and just said hello. And we look over, and there was somebody in somebody's pit. I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but somebody was cruising around with Coors Light and just smashing them. Like it wasn't even 2:00 yet in the afternoon. And so he's like,
started practice yet.
He's like, I don't know about that. And I was like, I kind of agree with you. I don't know how I feel about somebody smashing beers at 2:00 in the afternoon and working on race cars. Like, that's sketchy, real sketchy. So that's what that little portion came up with, because I was literally standing right there when that happened. And I was like, oh yeah, he's going to say something. And more power to him, because I 100% agree. We've talked about this in the past about beer in the pits and how crazy it gets, especially with the sprint cars coming up, right? Like there's going to be a lot of drunks walking around in the pits.
Well, and he even mentioned something of like if we catch you with beer or booze in your coolers, that wouldn't you look kind of stupid if I'm over there and with a lot of the crew or drinking your beer in front of you and I just thought that was kind of funny that he was like, "Hey, I'll come over your pit, find out you got booze, I'm gonna drink it."
Drink it. I mean, I get it because they're trying to make money. I mean, we've sidestepped that in the past with some of our sponsors where we, we're passing out refreshments before, but do it with some class, more or less.
Yeah.
Don't
but
be.
we also provided the track with a lot of those refreshments to sell, and it not costed them $0 to, pay for. So they, in a sense, got it for free. So
just don't be smashing beers at 2:00 pre-practice.
Yeah. That's not water. Even though it is made with water, that's not water.
And dude, at that time, like it was so hot out, the mountains weren't even blue. Let's put it that way. Like they were drinking John Whittar specials at that point. It's like, no, how can you even do that?
Shoot, I mean, this weekend with it being, let's see, Greg Dryland says it's going to be 103. Shoot, beer's boiling at that point.
Yeah.
Leave that out in the sun. You're going to open the can. It's going to be like,
not even refreshing. Boiling. It's just like gross.
It's going to blow up. It's going to be so hot.
Oh man. We do have to talk about one thing. The passing of Mike Opperman last week.
Oh yes. Yeah. Cause that happened like right after a couple
2 days after.
later. Yeah.
Like Johnny Whittar. And for those of you that don't know who Mike is, he's been a staple at Colorado National Speedway for eons, it seems like. His son Scott is there. And now his grandson is racing in the bandos. So, a family tree of Oppermans that have been participating at CNS for a long, long time. That was a big bummer to see the passing of Mike, but thoughts and prayers definitely go out to that family.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I mean, I remember having some conversations with him, even back when we were stupid young, and then just even more recently, just in passing, saying hello and stuff. And I've had some really good conversations with Scott over the last couple of years, being in the bandos and being a parent and stuff. And he's a really nice guy. So I definitely feel for them and their entire family.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Keep them in your prayers, and, especially the Whittars as well. Again, so just it's kind of like what was that, the year 2023 with all the celebrities dying? It's like now all of a sudden 2025 is the celebrities of CNS so far. It's like we don't need any more.
Yeah,
no more.
Yeah, so it's been a rough couple of weeks here for the racing community local, that's for sure.
Yeah. So,
but all right, shall we get on to the next thing? And like I said at the beginning of the show, kind of give our predictions for the year. We'll start off with the 3 divisions that were participating this last weekend.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I got to pull up the pure stocks again so I can know exactly everybody in it.
I'm gonna do the same thing because the points. We'll just pull up the point standings. I don't know. Do you have the capability of sharing? Because we can I think I have the capability of sharing.
I don't think I can share.
Let me see here.
I cannot share. I can mute my speaker, and that's about it.
I will do this myself. I will try and pull this up so everybody can see. Give me un momento.
For Mr. IT guy, you're not doing very well.
Dude, I suck at IT. It's not good. Okay.
Oh, well, they've updated the points as of 6/14. So
they did.
That's good.
Oh, so they did update the points. Okay. We'll just go through this. I can't share for some reason. So the pure stocks, they look like this currently at the moment as of 6/14. So sitting in first is the 54 of Giovanni Skimica. I totally butchered that kid's name. He's sitting in first as a rookie
Mhm.
and with 96 points. Second right now is the 12S of Sean Sully with 92 points. Third is the 08 of Tanner McKim. He's a rookie with 92 points. So they're technically tied second and third. 4 points back. Fourth is the 10W of Gage Whittar at 89 points. Fifth is the 00 of Dylan Jaramillo. I can't, again, butcher names. He's a rookie as well with 87 points. So that's your top 5 currently. The rest of them, sixth is Brendan Knowles. He's 21 points back. But the top 5 are pretty close. There's only a 9-point difference between all of them, really. Man, you can't. Go ahead.
Well, it's tough because there's a couple of drivers that I think miss one race that would probably be championship runners. But I mean, if you're going to run a full season and you miss one race, it's hard to make up, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But especially just because I like the car. I think it's beautiful. I'm going to go with Sean Sully to take the pure stocks this year. He's been running good, and he's got a good
kind of
car,
leaning that way too, because he's just shown so much consistency over the last, like, even when he started last year. But man, what a feel good story for like 3 rookies right now in the top 5 for them to go out and like win it. And
well, and then Gage sitting in 4th, like, you're kind of like, for what's going on right now, you know,
feel good story.
Feel good story at the end of the year, right? Yeah,
right. I mean, that would be awesome to see him go out and win a championship this year, and, you know, for his grandpa and everything. Oh man. And Giovanni, man, that kid, you know, like I said, I've been kind of following him on social media. He has a really good feel-good story. He was a kid that, you know, just wanted to go race, and his parents bought him a car for Christmas, and, you know, all he wanted to do was just get into racing, and he couldn't get into racing here locally because he needed to be 14, and he was doing some dirt track stuff. So that's a really good feel-good story, and he's been super consistent so far too. Man, this is a hard one. I'm gonna go with Gage. I'm just because, again, I want the feel-good story, rooting for him, you know, the family and everything. I'm gonna say Gage, but I mean, it's such a good toss-up right now. I mean, even still, we do have a lot of racing to go. 21 points ain't all that bad. 24 points ain't even all that bad. I mean, it's the season is still so young.
And things could happen. Like Jenny Young just wrote, Sean Sully didn't make the last feature. Tranny broke from hitting the wall. So anything could happen.
Right. And anything can happen to anybody. I mean, shoot. I mean, last year had electrical issues and had to sit out a race, and that was it. You know what I mean? Just one race where it just, you know, it screws you in your chances. And because we have so few of them too, right? Like, you know, technically, shoot, we're still very young in the season, but we're almost halfway through the year already. You know, I mean, for us, we only got like, what, 5 or 6 to go, and that's it, you know? So, I mean,
well, we get 9. We're at 3. So yeah, no, we got 6 left.
More nights, and that's it. So, yeah, we're almost halfway already. Yeah, so I'm going to say Gage Whittar, and then you're going to say Sean Sully. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the GAMs. This is going to be a good one.
I'm already taking myself out of it since I missed a race.
Yeah.
Well, technically 1 and a third, since dashes only count for 3 points.
You know what? You want to know what's really funny?
Huh?
You've missed 2 races already, and you're ahead of me in points.
Am I really?
Yeah. It says right here, you're sitting in 10th, and I'm in 12th. But that's, you know, not finishing.
Well, that's because of the double
Screw me.
feature.
Which I don't really care. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But Cade Fox is currently sitting in first with 100 points. 4 back from him is Eric Reed. And third is Scotty Scott with 84. Mr. Vecchiarelli is sitting in 4th. And Ryan Jones is 5th Ryan's about 38 points back. Oh man, I mean, if the 51 car keeps that consistency, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Like, Eric Reed's sitting 4 points back, but the rest of us are like 20 to 30 points back already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be really hard to make up that ground.
I don't know why I'm all capsed.
They're yelling your name.
They're yelling my name out.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's whatever.
It is what it is.
So who are you going for?
Man. I mean, like I said, it's gonna take some really. I can't go against Cade, to be honest with him. Be honest with you, because of just the consistency. Unless he misses a race, like he's getting a really good car and he's fast. I mean, you can't take anything away from the poor kid right now. And if you keep that consistency, he's just gonna run away with it. It's not even really gonna be close.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna say the 51. I'm gonna say Cade in his first year. It pains me to say that, but
it pains me to say that. Love you, Cade. Yeah, this it's tough. Because
there's so many good names that are even like sitting in 6th, 7th, 8th place right now. You know what I mean? It's tough.
How is Ryan Jones sitting 38 points behind?
Well, he didn't finish the very first race.
He didn't?
Remember, he broke the very first race. It was like, I don't know.
Oh,
like
that's
10,
right. Like 3 laps in, he blew up.
Yeah,
that's right. I was like, didn't he finish the first race? That doesn't make sense. Okay,
any sort of DNF and it screws you. I mean, you are screwed because we have 8, 9 races in a year. So, which sucks.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go, devil's advocate and go against Mr. Cade. Not that I don't like Cade. I think he's great. He's a great kid.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Newcomer Eric Reed, first time doing a full schedule for CNS. I think he might give him a little run for his money. So I mean, he's finished top 5 every race so far and qualified good. So I'm gonna go with Eric.
He's got a lot of experience on his side.
Yes, and I know that there's probably a couple people watching that are gonna say he's technically got an illegal car. Technically does, but
we could talk about that here in a bit.
Yeah,
because I do kind of want to bring that up.
Yeah, it was not caught before the season started, so he can run it just like how Holly could run it a couple years ago and last year. It's allowed this year, so
we'll save that for a minute. So you're gonna go with Eric Reed.
Eric Reed.
Okay. So and then kind of give people a little bit of context about him, because I have looked into his profile and whatnot, and he's raced at multiple different places, had some really long-term success in the past. He's won a ton of stuff. I think he still holds a track record somewhere in, I think it's Meridian or somewhere. But the dude's a good shoe. I mean, he's a super great guy. Gotten to talk to him quite a few times so far early in the season. But yeah, he's a damn good driver. I mean, can't take anything away from him. It's been awesome, the fact that he's shown up at the early part of this season and competed with us. Now that the SRL is gone, right? I cannot hear you. Did your headphones just die? Oh, poor Jake. Why don't you drop out and come back in? Can you hear me now? You're like that Verizon commercial right now. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Nothing. Blank. No. Blank face. Sorry, bud. We can't hear you on the show. Oh Lord, he's like a lost giraffe right now. Anyways, All right. Are you good?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. You're good.
Okay, good. I was like, where did you go?
Your headphones died.
Well, it said it had battery, but I don't know. Maybe because I walked 4 feet to the right, it like shut off. I don't know.
Probably.
I was trying to find my cream soda. I don't know what happened to my cream soda.
Cream soda. It was like that moment, dude. All of a sudden you were like into the conversation, and then it was like squirrel moment. You just, shit, where's my cream soda?
Yeah. I'm getting a little parched here, and I was like, where the fuck did I put my damn cream soda?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so funny.
Anyway.
Okay, let's move on to the supers. Let's continue this. Right now, leading in points, it's Brett Yackey, followed by Bruce Yackey, followed by Michael Scott, Cody Vanderwall, and Cassidy Hines. And then a couple points back from there is Jace, but we know that he's not going to run the full schedule. So realistically, your top 5 right there, they're all within 30 points of each other right now. Oh, man. I mean, we know the Yackies, they're just consistent. You know what I mean? Even Bruce, even though he's not as fast as what he used to be, he's had his moments where, what was that, the first race? Remember that they were out, that he came out, it seemed like nowhere, right?
Well, yeah, he went over top of Holly's front end, and then all of a sudden, like magic happened, and just all of a sudden found 2/10 a lap.
Right, like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, Brett, it's so hard with him because, you know, he's so aggressive. I mean, it's not the unknown, right? Like, he's so aggressive that you're almost like you're waiting for an instance where he has like whereas the aggression takes over and he has just a bad night, and you know what I mean, and his night's over.
Mm-hmm.
But we just haven't seen that the last few years, and he's, you know, won a couple championships because of it.
Right.
But I can't take it away because the dude has just been on such a roll, especially since like the midpoint of last year. But Michael Scott, man, I mean, he's only 23 points back, but he's just flat out showing some speed.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he DNF'd that first night.
Yeah. But he's only 23 points back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that can
not
be made
a far
up.
Cry.
It's not that much to overcome. I mean, especially when you come down to the double points nights.
Well, every race is double points. Well, not double points, but like 2 points between each position. So,
right.
You know, technically, yeah, if he wins a race and Brett finishes 5th a couple of times, let's just say, I mean, that's 10 points right there. So, I mean, he can catch up in 2 or 3 races.
In a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, the double feature nights, sorry, not the double points nights, but the double feature nights, those are the ones where you can make up a lot of ground, especially championship nights, that kind of thing.
Right.
I'm going to say Michael Scott, man. Like, I just have a good feeling with the way that he's been rolling lately.
Mm-hmm.
And especially after last weekend, like watching him, man, I mean, I was cheering for him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, yeah, I'm going to go with Michael Scott this year. I'm going to say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple of cars that you just wish, damn it, just get up there, get in those top 5s a little bit more, you know. But you know, just sometimes shit happens, and all of a sudden, yeah, you're like 40 behind. So it's like, damn it. As much as I respect the Yankees, I just, you know, I'm kind of with you on this one. Michael Scott, I think he just got unlucky that first race, but I think he's kind of right now one of the ones to beat. And I just think that he can do it. So it's the first one that we'll have together that
all right,
we're going to be in agreement with.
We're both saying Michael Scott. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I like it. I mean, we're going to see what happens. we still got some races to go. So we'll definitely be tuning into this throughout the season. But there we go. There's our predictions for the championship for this year, at least in those 3 divisions. We'll have to mark those down so we don't screw this up later on and have to go back fishing for them when we get to the end of the season and go, wait, who did we pick?
I'll have to get my little notebook out. I don't know.
Make a note.
Put a sticky pad.
One other thing I wanted to bring up was they posted it last week because the big race coming up 4th of July is the sprint cars. It's going to be a huge night as it was last year. I'm anticipating it to be sold out crowds both nights. They showed the pre-entries, right? Like the expected entries or whatever as you will for that event. And there are some interesting names on here.
Yeah.
One to highlight. Sammy Swindell is going to make his appearance in an asphalt sprint car at CNS.
We're stealing him from the dirt track.
I thought that was really interesting. Was not expecting to see that name up there.
Hey, for the amount of money that's going to be putting out there, I mean, why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not? So far, there's definitely some local names here to take highlight with. There's also some other names that we all have come to kind of know over the last few seasons, especially with the kind of the emergence of the open wheel showdown and such events like this that have been going on around the country this year or the last few years. So Adam Hilton's going to be in it. Natalie Waters from Utah, Brian Gossel, Ryan Land. Let's see, Monty Bergener, Davey Hamilton Jr. is going to be here. Aaron Willison. I mean, that guy's a freak. Eric Humphreys, Josh Lewis. He's a local guy. Couple people from Idaho that are coming. Dylan Lyons and William Ginn. Mike Anderson, Trevor Anderson. So it looks like a family affair there. And then you got Bobby Santos. Bobby Santos is going to make his way back out here. And Mike Hathaway, as we saw him earlier, win in the wingless sprints this year.
Yeah,
he won it, right? Yeah, he won it.
Yeah, because it got shortened.
It got shortened, yeah. So it was Mike Hathaway that won that. So, good list of names. I mean, from all over the place. You got people from Florida, Washington, British Columbia, Utah, Tennessee. I mean, California, you name it. There's people coming from all over the United States that are going to be at that show. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got all 4 of us racing that night. I don't know how we're going to make that work.
If anybody's got a probably at least a 30-foot, 27-foot flatbed trailer that they want to loan or help bring 2 bandoleros to the track with, we would much appreciate that. Because that's going to be a big night.
And if anybody wants to come help out, we'll be more than happy to take the help.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That night's going to be a little cray-cray. 2 bandos and 2 modifieds.
We will pay your pit pass, and we will provide food and
refreshments,
especially hydrating refreshments.
Yes.
Not dehydrating refreshments.
We're making a pitch right now on the podcast.
Until afterwards.
We need help.
Yeah. At least what we have going for us is that after, let's see, because they'll do the Junior Bandit and then the Bandit, we'll have the Outlaw bandos and then the Legends go in between us. So at least once the bandos or your girls are done, that we'll have at least a quick minute to get ready for our race.
For sure. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like, it's always a good time when all of us race together on the same night. Huh?
And there's fireworks.
And the sprint cars, dude. I'm so looking forward to that show. It's so much fun watching them. I mean, if it's half as crazy as it was last year, it's going to be a hell of a weekend.
Well, and for all of you watching, if you have family and friends or supporters, sponsors going to make that race, tell them to come early.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better to get to the track if they open it with this. I think they'll open the pit gate at 4:30 or something like that. So if they open up at 4, I'd be getting there at 3:00, and I wouldn't care. Just stand in line. Like I
Yeah.
know it's going to be hot. It's going to suck, but it's better to be there and in the track before you're all of a sudden having to park down by Furniture Row and walk a mile.
Yeah, you
just
want to
to
at
be
least
told,
guarantee yourself a
turn
spot.
around. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
turn around, walk back. We're closed.
Oh man, that sucked last
We're
year.
sold out.
I felt bad for those people that were trying to get in, and then they get there, and then all of a sudden, nope, we're closed.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
I even got my online ticket. Damn it.
yeah, yeah. So that's the next big one. That's after this upcoming weekend, that's still a couple weeks away. But yeah, get out there this weekend. Like I said, it's gonna be a hot one. So everybody take care of themselves, take care of each other. Try to stay cool. I'm sure they're gonna be doing some track prep. I thought I saw a comment earlier that Ray said that they're gonna try and water down the racetrack a little bit too to try and dissipate some of the heat. I mean, it's going to maybe help a little bit, but shit, that water hits that asphalt and it's just going to sizzle and be gone.
Water the track. We need all cars on the track to pack the track. You do not get out on the track to pack the track. You do not race today.
Oh my God. But anyways, I don't think I have anything else. Do you? Do you have anything else? Or do you want to talk about the...
Well, first off, you mentioned last week and left everybody with a cliffhanger that we were going to have a guest soon, and you didn't announce who that guest was going to be or give a teaser to it. So
yeah, that's because it didn't end up working out at the moment. I know I was trying to, but it didn't end up working out. So we're working on some guests here soon. Jake and I have been stupid busy. It's been kind of hard to navigate everything that's been going on. But we're going to try and get some guests on here. We still have, we've been in contact with Jim and with the track owner and stuff, and they definitely want to come on, but I think it's just trying to align schedules and get things organized and coordinated.
Right.
They have at least mentioned it about coming on. So we're going to continue to do that and continue to work on that. Hopefully maybe, whenever, as soon as we know, you guys will know, that's for sure.
Right.
We'll make that announcement, but we'll try to get some other people on here, some other drivers and whatnot, and do some more interviews.
We're going to throw a shout out to our Hittin the Chip alum guest, Mr. Brian Sanders. Like we said, he got the W with Keelan a couple weeks ago, but I don't know if you saw the video he sent us and then posted on Facebook. They did like a little kind of like small documentary kind of thing of that weekend, and he was on it. You can hear him a couple times on some radio communication, and there's a couple times they showed him up in the pits or the spotter stand. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
the
pretty
pictures
cool
afterwards with the win. So we have a celebrity on our hands, man. And I don't know if he technically announced this or is okay with us announcing it, but he is going to spot for them again. Who doesn't know, I think, technically yet which Harvick he's going to be doing, but he will be helping them again, especially when they come to Colorado National Speedway. So
that's going to be an exciting show, that's for sure, and it's coming fast.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be here before we know it. It's going to be a crazy weekend. 3 days of racing.
Yeah,
it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, Legends, 3 days. I'm sure all the Legend guys are like, hell yeah, but then at the same time, it's like, that's a big tire bill.
Well, and that's where we're getting screwed. They get so many races this year, and then the rest of us, we get 9.
Yeah, what the hell? Stupid Legend drivers. I think they're so cool. I'm just kidding. Love you. Love all you Legend drivers.
Oh, I told you, everybody. Jake was on one tonight. That's for sure. He's on one. What time is it? We've been doing this for an hour and a half. Do we want to get into the thing about the chassis or not?
We can save that for another night.
Okay, we'll save that for another night.
Maybe we can get a couple of mod guys on here and talk about it and see what they like about it.
That is one thing that we kind of, I wouldn't say drop the ball on, but we had a big group conversation through Messenger. There's a bunch of us in it. And I know not everybody was involved in that conversation, but we all kind of had a discussion about the tires and whatnot. And
we were supposed to meet with Jim, and that kind of
and I
fell
did.
to the wayside.
I'd reached out to Jim and said, hey, everybody wants to have a conversation about it. At least just clear the air, clarify some things, and, just have a discussion, not a bitch session, but everybody was kind of on the same page. Wouldn't you say that everybody was kind of on the same page about, at least looking at the rule and approaching it and see what we could do about it?
Yeah, I totally, I think everybody was really intrigued about making it better.
Right. And I reached out to him, said, hey, can we talk to you after the pit meeting? The drivers meeting, whatever, after the next race. And sure, no problem. And then you had mentioned it like, hey, are we going to talk? And oh yeah, let's talk about it after the race. And then that never happened.
Yeah. Cause they switched the schedule on us and we were the first to qualify. He's like, well, you guys are qualifying right now. You guys want to sit here and talk about it? Like, I mean, yes, because
we do.
Okay, we could talk about it after the race, but we all know what's going to happen after the race. Nobody's going to show up because, it's after the races. People are signing autographs. People are already packing up to get out of there, drinking, it's nobody's going to show up for after the race.
Right. Well, because in that pit meeting, the question was asked, is it, because in one part of the rules, it says a night of racing constitutes like one race for your tire cycle. Yeah. And then another part talks about features, right? Like one feature.
Which I'm glad that they finally talked about this.
They clarified that just so everybody knows. Greg Witherwax said in the drivers meeting that a feature constitutes a night of racing, not a complete night of if you have double feature, that's not just one night. That's technically two nights of racing. Mm-hmm. So, and it's been a topic of conversation the last 3-4 years. What constitutes a night of racing? And that's what he said. So technically speaking, that would have been 2 nights of racing.
And Jim brought it up.
Yeah.
And Jim left it to Greg to clarify. And Greg clarified that it's 2 features, and if you run a double feature in one night, then the next race you are allowed new tires.
Right. And I know that this doesn't abide to the legends and the bandos and all the different divisions, especially like the pure stock, super stocks. They got to run 5 nights on their tires or something.
Yeah, something stupid I heard.
But even still, it would still affect them, because if they have a double feature
on one night,
on one night, that would constitute 2 nights of racing, like on your tires. So
right.
So we'll see if it stays true through the rest of the season. It just makes
should have got that on recording.
Huh?
I should have recorded that. Hold on, Greg. Can you say that one more time?
You got your phone up to his lips. Okay, speak into the microphone. Say it.
Yeah. Just put the camera right up to his face. Say that one more time, please.
Like we're all up in his grill.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We should go live on our Hitting the Chip. Hold on a second. Our fans want to hear what you just said again.
Yeah. Okay. So this is an interesting thing, because technically we had gotten new tires. We got new tires for this night. Okay. So this is a great topic we can kind of close out the night on. All right. So we got new tires as a group for the GAMs, and technically we're on 3-night tire cycle, technically speaking. That was part of the conversation that we wanted to have with Jim, because a lot of people are on the same idea of going to 2 nights for tire cycle, or at least 2 tires every night. Like it equates to be the same amount of money. If you do 4 tires or 2, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
So it just depends on whether you want to have the track dictate it, or if you want to put the strategy kind of back into the driver's hands. Because if you did 2 tires a night, do you do rears? Do you do right sides? Like that's up to you at that point, right? Like it puts more of the strategy back into the team's hands than anything. But this is a great point. So we race on our tires one more night, correct? I don't know, because if you're trying to look at it from an apples to apples perspective, right? Like you you ran 2 features, one of them being a special event, right? Like, do you just axe it because you had 75 laps in a night overall, whereas, you know, any other given tire cycle, you're roughly what, 90 laps? I mean, 3 features is 90 laps. And then you add in the heat races, which, okay.
Well, it's 30 extra laps. So
30 extra laps. I mean, so there's what, 120 laps total. So
plus 2 laps of qualifying. So that's 120, what?
8?
Yeah. No,
Something
26.
Like 126?
126.
126 laps, technically on your tires. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if we get a new set. To me, we should, right? Like, we ran a special feature. We kind of reset the field, but it was one of those things. It's like, it's a special night. Like, let us run new tires for the night to put on the best show we can. And then let's reset the field and then start your tire cycle from there. And then what that tire cycle would be, we don't know.
Right.
But we were all in kind of agreement that the weight rule thing was, you know, we just didn't like it. And more or less 3 nights on these tires, it does suck because that third night, I mean, there's a couple people who are like, I'm fine. Well, yeah, you guys are fast as shit. Totally understand.
Yeah.
But it, you know, it overall, the third night for us is just it's kind of a shit night. It's a boring night for the fans. It's not good racing. It doesn't promote good racing. When you got 100, you're on your, what, over 100 laps on your tires. I mean, you're just holding on at that point. And if you have a good starting position, you know, you're going to get lucky enough to win. But if you're sitting 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere right in there, your chances aren't very good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what does that do? And for us, we're spending lots of money on these cars. We only got 9 races. We're like, do the tires, you know,
right.
Like let us put on a good show, more or less.
Right.
So, but I don't know. To answer that question, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Technically speaking, yeah, we should be using those same tires for one more night.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, because it's technically 3 features. So,
so July 4th, big, huge night. We'd be on 3rd night old tires.
Yeah, they need to let us buy new tires for. I mean, they just got a shipment in too, so it's like,
yeah, sell them.
Yeah,
right. You don't want them sitting around.
Sell them. Yeah,
yeah, sell the tires.
Right.
You're into making money.
That's why you buy them. You buy them to sell them.
Right. I mean, that's business decision at that point, right?
Yeah, you don't buy milk to just let it sit and curdle on the friggin' cooler. You buy it to sell it.
That's a great analogy.
I mean, it's common sense.
It's common sense. I like it.
Well, I mean, Jim has said, you know, the last couple of years he doesn't like having tires sit around all winter. So it's like, all right, well, this is an easy way. Just let us keep buying tires until they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You're trying to make it cost efficient as much as you possibly can, but you know, you look around and again, I'm looking at just like the modifieds, the late models, the pro trucks, like those 3 kind of divisions, they're all in the same playing field. I mean, the amount of money that these people are spending on these cars, I mean, you know, I'd rather just be not let the tires be the factor, more or less.
Well, or the tires be a reason why someone wads up their car.
Oh, that too.
Because they're worn down to the bone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
And they do looking at our tires after like the 25 laps, and it really wasn't pushing it all that hard. I mean, I think it's just because it was so hot on the racetrack too.
Yeah, I think it burned off some rubber just because of how hot it was.
Not looking good. I was like, damn, that's after 25 laps. That sucker's damn near bald.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to do burnouts down the straightaways. I can tell you that for sure.
No.
I don't know. I do have to say, on coming out of that last corner on turn 4 when Scotty was on my inside, I did hammer down a little bit, just so I could stay a little bit in front of him. But yeah, That was about the only time.
But anyways, so to be continued. I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll find out. We'll have to ask the question and get an answer on that. What they're going to do for our division. But
yeah.
But overall, looking forward to a weekend off for us. This is the first weekend we haven't been doing anything race car related in a long time. It's been a few months, through like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 4 months.
Because even a couple of weeks ago when we had an off weekend of racing, we were still working on race cars. So,
yep, this will be the first weekend that we're gonna go out and go enjoy ourselves, our family get together at the Lake McConaughey.
Yeah, where it's gonna be 105.
Yeah,
we're with you people. We just won't be at the racetrack. We'll just be on a beach, in the water, drinking beer.
We'll be watching though. We're gonna watch it on Saturday night.
Yeah, our cousin, when he doesn't make the races, he watches our low budget subscription. So I'm sure he'll be like, "Hey, let's watch the races." So yeah, I'm sure we'll be watching.
Oh, Saturday. Definitely gonna watch it. I mean, we're gonna be a couple of beers deep and sit there and at least bullshit and watch some good racing happen. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's a good night for a lot of people. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Exactly.
But anywho, that's it from me. Appreciate you all coming on and spending an hour and 46 minutes with us and listen to us two hooligans kind of chit chat about the events from last weekend. And with that being said, thank you. I guys appreciate it. Share, like, do all the things and help us out. Share this out and get some. I got
one last thing, and before we sign off.
Okay.
You remember this kid? I don't know. I hope there's a lot of drivers out there if you're watching right now, or if you watch later or listen later. There was a kid that came up and got an autograph. He had the best looking mullet I have ever seen in my entire life. I totally forgot about that until just like randomly just thinking about it just now. That was an amazing, and he was like 4.
And he had his cowboy boots, with his pants tucked into the cowboy boots. Yep.
He was more cowboy redneck than I've ever seen. I mean, he puts Billy Ray Cyrus to shame,
dude.
In his prime,
he trumps D3 with the mullet.
And D3, you got a fantastic mullet, but this kid had a fantastic mullet. I told him, don't ever cut it. I was like, you look phenomenal in that. And his dad just laughed. He's like, yeah, I don't plan on cutting it for a while. I'm like, don't ever cut it. Even when he's an adult, tell him he keeps it.
That was one of the very first times that I was not asked to get a picture taken with the kid, that I asked the kid if I could take a picture with him.
Yeah, because he'll put you to shame. Like, you'll look better than me.
Like, dude, that is one bitchin' mullet.
Yeah.
And he was doing the,
the
head shake thing.
The hair, dick.
It was
his mane and tail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all business in the front. Like, you could have never tell that it was full party in the back until you moved his head, and you were like, damn.
When I turned and looked down, I was like, oh my God, that is the best looking hair I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I do remember that.
Yeah.
That little kid coming up.
I wanted to talk about that, and I totally forgot about it till just now. So I'm glad I remembered that.
Bitchin' mullet. Mullet. It was awesome. Oh my gosh. But yeah, well, thank you guys again. We truly appreciate the support. Continue obviously next weekend. And then on to next week, we'll have a recap and kind of go over the events from this weekend, and then looking forward to the 4th of July shindigs. So it'll be, like we said, we'll try to get some guests on here pretty soon. I know we're getting close to the halfway point of the year almost already. So we'll try and definitely broaden it up and get some people on here and get some conversations going. But until then, definitely look forward to seeing you all in the next coming weeks. Jake?
Stay safe this weekend. Everybody have a good time. Have a good night.
Stay hydrated. Just start hydrating now, because you don't want to be waiting until Friday night or the day of to hydrate. Hydrate now. But yeah, everybody, good luck to all the drivers this weekend. Be safe, have fun, and try and get yourself a trophy. So for me, that's it.
That's it for me too. So everybody have a good night. From Jake and Jordan, this is Hitting the Chip, and we appreciate you all. So have a good evening.
Good night.